welcome back to another episode of the Knife Nuts podcast. Brian is on vacation, so we are joined by our surrogate knife nut, Adam Purvis. Welcome back to the show, Adam.
Hi.
Hi.
I was trying to be like Brian.
That was just as enthusiastic.
You'll
I believe
never
the
be
appropriate
Brian.
response is "fuck you, I don't talk like that."
Fuck you, I don't talk like that.
Yes.
Let's let him enjoy his vacation.
It's nice to know that Brian is with us in spirit, at least.
Yes, taking a well-deserved vacation from us.
Absolutely. Someone commented on the pre-podcast post I made saying that was like, oh no, Yoda. And I was like, even Yoda has to leave Dagobah every once in a while.
It's a deep cut for the nerds out there.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Well,
everybody loves it. I love Yoda.
Our idea was, if Brian's going to be gone, let's do the episode that would annoy Brian the absolute most, which is talk about
Yep.
old production knives for
Yep.
an hour at least.
You know, we've wanted to do something like this for a while. It's interesting to see us do a steady subject matter on anything, for that matter, but for a whole episode should be interesting.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean,
We'll see where it goes. Yeah. You're right, Jake, but, you know. But before we get into that, Adam, why don't you tell us the good news that you told me today? Of course, it won't matter in the next couple days, but but hopefully by the time everybody is listening to this, Adam, that's your cue.
No, I know. I'm checking the tracking again.
It's not doing anything too premature.
Yeah. Well, we received notification from FedEx that the primordial knives have cleared customs and are scheduled to be delivered tomorrow, the 6th. But, we'll see what happens.
So that means they'll arrive at your door tomorrow, all things willing. And that means you'll end up packing our Knife Nuts editions, and they'll be in my possession within the next couple days. So after that, we'll begin the gratuitous shipping process.
Yes.
So it's finally coming to an end. You know, I'm kind of excited to see how these turned out. So, you know,
I think we all are.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. A lot of drama going on with it, but
Accidentally.
we're here. We started, from the bottom, and now we're here. That is not a relevant reference anymore.
No, that one's pretty dated. Yikes.
But, I thought Yeet was also dated, but it made a comeback, so there we go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them. How have the ones you've gotten so far been?
Very
They look
good.
Fantastic.
Very good. You'll be insanely impressed at how thin the grinds are. I mean, the tip gets so fine, and it's sharp as hell. It's really, really nice.
I'm excited. The only thing wow, not a Freudian slip. The only thing I ever wanted to change about the Primordial was to make it bigger. So this works for me.
And you're probably going to like this. Yeah. Functionally, I can't think of a better knife that I've received recently. It's lightweight. It doesn't have the recurve of the original Primordial, which is, a lot of people will say it's a good thing, and I tend to agree with that. Just a little more utilitarian, I think.
I'm going to defend Adam's original vision. I like the recurve.
I also like the recurve. However, when you see this, you're going to be pretty impressed.
Yeah. I can live without it,
That's
but
right.
I do like it. I do like the recurve.
Adam, how's feedback been?
Good.
I thought you were going to use the mute button for when you cleared your throat, not when you're immediately asked a question.
It couldn't be worse than a lip smacking in Ernie Emerson's podcast, so we're good. Don't worry.
Oh, Ernie Emerson has a lot of explaining to do, if you ask me.
Yeah. I can get into that later.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Adam?
I was trying to make sure that I concentrated on not clearing my throat so I didn't upset you.
No one gives a crap. Please continue.
if you focus on not upsetting Levon, this is gonna just be 2 hours of dead air.
That's just you, Jake.
Just let her rip, man.
Feedback has been good. I've sent you a lot of the posts or messages I've received, and for the most part, everything I've received has been positive. So
Absolutely.
I was very happy with the first 60. We received 60 because we had some G10 scales that we remade. By some, I mean
Nearly
lot.
all.
And they were not happy. Well, to Best Tech's credit, they were not happy with the way it turned out, so they wanted to remake them, and
They did.
they sent 60 that were good, and those shipped, and I'm hoping the other 270 are just as good.
Right. Well, we hope so too. I mean, at this point, I think we can safely say that we're in the clear. Everything will be fine. It is a stressful thing, I gotta say. And I was saying on the last podcast, it's interesting to be involved in a production knife from beginning to end. And the amount, I can't imagine, what it's like having not only your time, your effort, but your design and your money all wrapped up into it as well.
Yeah, I did, that was the first episode I've ever listened to of the podcast was 36, and no, not true.
Shut the fuck up.
We appreciate all your support, having never listened.
I'm a Patreon supporter, but
then you don't have to do anything else. Don't worry about it.
yeah,
You don't need to
so,
listen.
Well, I'm not in the top tier. I don't win knives.
The
but,
top tier is you no longer need to listen to the podcast.
yeah, they just send you the cliff notes. But I heard you say, I was kind of glad that I dragged you into the process this time a little more in depth, so you could see that it's not as simple as just
No.
send a design off and a knife shows up.
Yep.
Although Brian pretty much said he sends a design off and a knife shows up.
Brian has the added ability to be able to 3D design, and basically they just make whatever they send him in 3D.
His
and everything's
design
good.
is perfected when it goes to re-op.
Right.
I design on like an empty shoebox and then have it work it into 2D CAD and then work it into 3D CAD, and then we make changes. But the entire process is a process.
I would also like to point out that's how 90% of the people making knives do their work. So like everybody who makes a production knife but doesn't understand 3D machining, they're probably drawing their knives out on napkins and hoping for the best when they get it sent to whatever company to have it 3D designed.
That was the only benefit that I had for myself starting out was making folders and
Right.
learning how everything worked a little better. At least I kind of understand how knives work instead of just
Yeah, making a scribble on a piece of paper. There was some intent to what you were drawing on the shoebox.
Yes.
Or in the shoebox. Was it on the shoebox or in the shoebox? That's really
well,
the question.
you use all the sides.
Got it. You put the closed look on one side, maybe several different modifications on the other side of the shoebox. How
Yes.
big was the shoebox is really the question here.
It is a size 12 Nike,
Nice.
so fairly
Nice.
large.
Knife Nuts Podcast.
Is
I use
is that
the,
available on like Arizona Custom?
I was about to say, yeah. Are you going to sell that for $3,000 on Arizona Custom Knives now? Because that's what they seem to think is okay to do with.
That shoebox didn't survive 9/11 though.
No, mementos from our nation's greatest tragedy.
Yeah, that shit is foul. Like straight up. No other way to put it.
I have to say,
$3,000 trinket from 9/11. Like I don't.
it
Is
not
it going
only
to
is
charity? Is it going to charity?
not that I know of. Did the knife that got made from it go to charity? I don't know.
I don't like
so
that.
Here,
I
let-
believe Ernie would donate it to charity. I don't.
I
know if
would like
Arizona
to
is.
believe that Ernie would donate it to not to tragedy to charity.
Yikes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but so
Freudian
here's the
slip
story.
so far.
Before we go down the rabbit hole, let me just back up and talk about what we're talking about. So it was brought to our attention by none other than Knife Critiques of all people, that Arizona Custom Knives is selling a steel blank that is from the remnants of the World Trade Center that Ernie Emerson cut their blade blank out of. So it's not even the blade blank or the knife itself. It's the actual empty scrap of steel from the World Trade Center that they are selling on Arizona Custom Knives for $29.95. not $29.95, but $2,995. Now, I know full well, and you guys know, that Arizona Custom Knives is a consignment place. So that means that either they have it and they are selling it for that much, or someone owns said scrap metal and said, Arizona Custom Knives, will you put this up on your site, and I want to get this much money out of it, and they charge their normal rate to put on top of that, which I think is around 20%, if I remember correctly. It doesn't really matter. Even 20% off of that is still too much. It should not even be sold.
Someone deserves the hate here. I'm not sure if it's Arizona Custom Knives, because if it's a consignment, then it's not really their issue. They just take all the heat for it, though.
Well,
so
here's
sucks
the thing.
if it's that possibility out of the two.
Here's the thing. Arizona Custom Knives shouldn't be selling it, period. But in my opinion, I'm not telling people how to run their business, but I think I kind of am.
I bet it was for charity originally, and that's the worst.
That's what I would like to think of. I want to see what Ernie Emerson has to say about that.
I would like to hear his opinion too, because I bet he can't be super pleased about that either, because he's if nothing, he's very patriotic. So
that is very true.
I can't see him being happy about that.
Very true.
But wow, that dovetails into another fucked up piece of knife news.
What's that?
Well, let's just say rest in peace to Sam Johnson, knife maker.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a tragedy. It certainly is. The opioid crisis is bad. We don't have to get into that. But I don't know. It just reinforces like the people being trying to be really genial with makers. Don't bro me if you don't know me thing. I don't know. It was just weird. People are all, all over that guy when he was making knives, and then no doubt
the guy was talented as hell, though. We have to give him that. I've handled the knives. They're great. Adam, didn't you own one?
Yes. It was one of his earlier ones.
Yeah, it's just
it's a shame.
Really unfortunate.
Rest in peace, Sam Johnson. Our condolences to his family, because that's got to be incredibly rough to lose someone that young.
Yeah, seriously, he was younger than me, I think.
Ugh,
this is crazy.
Literally a child.
Yeah, more or less. It's tough, but I just I just hope nobody did anything too shady.
The saddest part about it, though, is that he really wanted to turn his life around. It looked like everything was going, going to be going well from here on out, and then not even a week later, that's the news you get.
Yeah, seriously.
But anyway, back to the our subject at hand. We're going to be talking a lot about old knives that we used to own, maybe still own, our first knives that we've purchased, maybe even ones that we've sold off and kind of regret.
Weird trends that we maybe got in, some just old forgotten knives. I will say that I took the time, because I have a lot of free time in the summers, to compile every single knife I ever bought before the podcast started. I'll make this available to our listeners. They can look at the spreadsheet of all of my poor decisions in the 2011-2012 era. And boy, are there a lot of bad ones.
I don't want to even guess what my spreadsheet would look like.
Yeah, let's see. I am stopping in March 2017, since we started the podcast in April. I was at 165 knives that I had bought and sold, which is not that bad. That's actually less than I thought.
No, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, to an average person, that's insanity, but
yeah.
To your average knife collector, probably not.
To get some perspective here, Adam, when did you start collecting knives?
Seriously getting into more expensive knives was 2006.
Wow. Okay, so you predate all of us.
Well, what was the first piece of shit knife you bought?
From a recognizable brand, maybe, not just like a gas station.
I had some lower end Walmart brand
stuff that comes on a
Kershaw's,
blister card, I would imagine.
Kershaw's and Gerbers.
Oh, nice.
The Gerbers and the Kershaws.
Maybe some Schrade. Slip joints.
Nice.
Wow.
So this was in 2006?
I have no
or before that?
2006 is when I decided to buy more expensive knives, like my first Hinderer.
Holy shit, you had a Hinderer back
in 2006. You've been in it a long time, dude. Holy crap.
I think it was Gen 2. It was right after the custom ones. Yeah.
What was it like before electricity?
Did you have to poop outside?
How did you buy that Hinderer? Did you have to send a carrier pigeon with the cash?
Were you a fireman then? How old were
Yes.
you? So you were a serviceman, so you were able to get it directly through Hinderer.
Yes. I think it was like 385 or something then, maybe.
It's a good amount
Yeah,
for
that makes
2006.
sense.
Was
Then
it
you
custom
sold it
or
for-
production?
No, it was. I think it was the Gen 2 when
Oh,
they.
so it was production, yeah.
It was It was after the hand ground blades.
Yeah, it was
I
barely a
assume,
production knife, though.
I assume you sold it for $850.
No, that would be wrong.
So in case anyone didn't know,
650 or 7.
there was a time when you literally could not get your hands on an XM18.
It was the weirdest thing.
And every run of production knives he made sold out within seconds, and went on the secondary for a double, triple, quadruple
That was
the price.
That was when he started selling them to dealers, at least. Before
Yeah, it was 2012, 13.
10 years, 10 years BGC.
That was. We'll have to get into that concept later. That I actually do in my searching through my email. So shout out to Gmail for making this episode possible.
It's really crazy how far back you can go.
I had an email to my buddy who was at West Point when we were in college, asking him if he could buy a Hinderer, and I would send him the money because that was back when you had to be active duty first responder or whatever.
Did he get you one, or did
Nope.
he
that
tell you
plan-
to go fuck
that
yourself?
That plan fizzled out. Even though I was like, "Yo, we can resell them for twice as much."
Man.
Didn't happen.
Yeah, that sounds like an 18-year-old activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Douchebag Dave.
I remember being at a wedding with you, Levon, and you ran
Were we getting
into
married? I
a
didn't remember
similar situation with like a high school military buddy. Dear God.
Oh, yeah.
Can you even hear me over the stampede
Yes, we
upstairs?
can
My God.
Can't you just put on a movie? Why don't they watch, like, Moana?
give them some iPads.
Hang on.
$250
They have
on
iPads.
Amazon.
I'm gonna Brian them real quick.
Shut up there!
That's not serious. Stella will just laugh at you now.
Anyway, the wedding.
Seems to have worked. Yeah, what were we chasing at that time? This would have been 2012 maybe. You ran into
See, I
someone.
told you. Striders, probably. I don't remember. Oh, maybe automatic
could have been.
knives.
Yeah, I
think?
don't remember what it was. But for us, that was closer to the beginning. We were about a good 5 years after Adam, apparently.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
the market like in 2006? I know this is like basically just Spyderco, Benchmade, and Kershaw.
Yeah, I have to go see when I joined, like Usual Suspects and Jersey Devil, and back when the forums were the only way you could share information.
Yeah. Back when plastic pocket clips were a thing you expected to encounter on Spydercos. That shit blows my
Yes.
mind.
That is a thing.
I don't know if I could get into Spydercos back then with the plastic pocket clips.
I bet they're not as bad as people remember them to be.
I mean, at the time, what else did you have to compare them to? I
You
feel
know
like
what's odd? Okay, and this is just an aside. One of the best pocket clips I have is on my custom Olamic Wayfarer. And Jake can attest to this. It is a G10 pocket clip.
I mean, I guess it works if it has enough
It-
flex, if it's made properly.
It's made beautifully, and it works perfectly. Am I right, Jake? Yeah. Was that a yeah?
He's probably dealing with his
Very.
children.
Maybe he's yelling at his children. Doubtful.
Off air so that
I'm
no one
talk-
calls
I'm
Child
talking
Protective
right now.
Services.
Can you not hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You sounded like as meek as
Oh,
a
no.
mouse.
No, I've been talking this whole time.
Oh, no.
No,
No.
I'm unmuted and I'm talking. Can you really not hear me?
No, we can hear
Jake, are you
God
there?
damn it.
Are you there,
Hello?
Jake?
I've been-
Are you
I
there?
Hear him
swear
at
to
all.
God.
Is he there?
I swear to God, I will end this goddamn podcast. I'll turn this bus around.
Hello,
Jake,
hello.
Jake, yeah, we hear you. We're just fucking with you, dude.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I had to have been
Oh,
talking
nope,
for
he's
a while
gone.
though, before you did hear me.
Okay.
Well, maybe. What were you
Back on
saying?
topic.
Did it have something to do with the G10 pocket clip that's so good? And
Blade Forums,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
2007.
Nope.
Air
None of
conditioning
that.
back on.
None of that. None
Okay.
of that, Jake.
Yep.
None of that.
He got none of it. All right, let's move on.
All right. Moving forward. I've had some. I remember we about a week ago we posted on Instagram. I asked everyone to share their gateway knife or their first Instagram posted knife. And some people posted stuff that, probably was one of their first knives that they got. And other people seemed to get into Instagram as the knife stuff started to keep going, and they posted their collection at that time. But for me, my gateway knife, and the first knife happens to be one of the ones I posted on Instagram, was the mini grip, a mini griptilian. So I know a lot of people have started with that knife.
So yeah, a mini grip was the 6th knife I ever bought. A Doug Ritter mini grip at that.
I had Swiss Army knives. I had a little buck assisted thing with a safety on it, and stuff like that I carried all the time. But the mini grip was my first big gateway knife, and Jake actually picked it up for me at a Black Friday sale at Cabela's, probably back in 2011. That's what got me hooked.
I used to carry an Mtech DDR Mad Max ripoff.
There were definitely a lot of...
Before I knew that was a real knife that it was a clone of, I used to carry that thing. And because I'm an idiot, I used to carry that every day, even to school, which was a really terrible idea in the post-Columbine era.
Carried mine to work and stuff like that, and pulled it out to open stuff all the time, not even thinking. That was something that people would frown upon.
Maybe the one I was carrying in high school was probably not a smart idea, but
right.
Statute of limitations have expired or
Especially
something.
Since your normal wardrobe was a trench coat and such.
Yeah, the optics are pretty bad on senior year of high school me, certainly.
I'm not that far off, am I?
No, you're really not.
Did you wear corpse paint in your class picture?
I wish. That would have been way better than whatever I did choose to do.
Right. So, Adam, what about you? What was your gateway knife?
The original?
Well, maybe the one that really sparked the knife bug in you.
I had a mini grip.
Was it the mini grip for you too?
440C.
Mine was
combo
D2.
edge.
Definitely
OD
combo
grain
edge.
scales.
Was it coated as well?
Mm-hmm.
Mine was coated D2. I think it was a Cabela's exclusive or something.
It was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and it was out of D2, and I thought it was the shit. And you know what's really funny? It dulled really, really fast.
That's funny because my mini Ritter grip, which I also thought was the fucking cock of the walk, was S30V.
Damn.
In 2011. It microchipped so fucking bad. The edge looked awful after doing anything with it.
It's funny that, HRC Gate is happening now because...
What do you think those were back then?
Yeah, seriously.
They just did whatever the fuck they wanted.
I think that's really the crux of it, is they just put everything through the same heat treat and hope for the best.
Just fuck it.
Fuck it, right.
Yeah, that Ritter mini grip was not that good, but it was my first $100 plus knife. So,
but we'll definitely give a shout out to Doug Ritter and Knife Rights, for all the good work that they do in the community.
Absolutely,
that's very cool.
I think the first truly shitty knife, I don't know what, after I got into quote unquote good knives, I don't know if you guys ever experienced this one, the Buck Vantage Pro. I think everyone had one of those.
I think that was a pretty decent knife for the time.
In theory, in execution, it was just donkey nuts, 100%. Oh my god, it's the only knife I've ever had that rubbed when opening, with the pivot fully tightened.
I like what Buck is doing now.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like they're really they're catching up and doing some really cool stuff, especially for the money and things like that. I think everything looks pretty. I mean, some of them aren't the best looking, but
I think they've come a long way since then.
They've come a long way, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first knife I ever sent back to a manufacturer as well.
Really?
Came back exactly the same as when I sent it there. They didn't
the more
do a
things
fucking
change,
thing to
the
it.
more they stay the same, right?
Yep, didn't do a single thing to it.
Ah, it's perfect now. Yeah, we just put it right back in the box.
Damn, that thing was a piece of shit. But it was USA made and S30V and shit. I feel like it was maybe $50, which is unfathomable by today's
nowadays
standards.
You can't think of anything like that.
No, that's one thing I noticed. Holy crap, we kind of had it good. When you had no money, if you were in the $30 to $50 range, you could get a bunch of well-made USA-made knives from Kershaw.
Knives. Yeah, that's
crazy.
True. That's true. I think one of the standouts for me was the Blur.
Yes.
That was one of the first That was one of the first knives that I got that I was like, wow, this thing is made really nice and really exceeded my expectations. Of course, it was assisted and stuff. I eventually pulled the torque bar out of it. Is it
torsion bar?
Torsion bar. I'm sorry, torque bar. That's a spinner. Which oddly enough, Arizona Custom Knives. Oh no, is it Arizona Custom Knives? Hold on, I should tell you. Give me 1 second. They have a torque bar still on their site.
Oh my god, that's a fucking throwback. What happened to that dude?
Oh, who the fuck cares? But hold on 1 second. But they still. This is how out of touch I think or how hopeful a lot of people are at this point.
Yeah, that guy probably fucking cashed out when those things were popular.
Yeah, so it's like got Damascus and shit on it. Okay, it is on eBoss Haas.
Oh, naturally.
So he has a torque bar with tritium and stuff in it for $2,500.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah,
the nicest way I can say that.
You know, somebody will buy that maybe.
Yeah, but
wow.
that came.
What was I saying? Yeah. So the blur.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool knife. I still think it's kind of a cool knife, to be honest with you. You get a recurved blade, that really weird thumb disc that has that's profiled a little bit differently.
Yeah, and no one does that anymore.
No, the anodized scales, the anodized aluminum scales with the skateboard tape inserts, kind of like a Microtech Socom Elite.
Consulting my trusty spreadsheet, I apparently got the Kershaw Blur in April 2013. This was a good one. It was CPM 154 with the carbon fiber inserts. That was great.
So that was a later one.
Yeah, that was a later one.
Mine was 2011, 2010, 2011, I think, or whenever it was.
I miss the days of having to rush to the forums whenever a new Kershaw came out to find out if you could de-assist it.
Yeah, right.
That was like oh,
can you de-assist it?
Oh, big surprise! Is it gonna have a D10 hole? Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Boo.
The Blur was Sandvik.
Yeah, 14C. They had all those American-made knives in 14C28N,
which I still think is a good steal.
It is. It's like a better than 8CR13, and now you get 8CR13 knives for that price. Although now we've gotten to the D2 area, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I prefer it to D2.
Yeah, I love 14C28N. Like the Kershaw Zing, I got that one in August of 2011. That's a great little knife, besides the weird striations on the blade. But it flipped well. And in 2011, nothing flipped well.
Did you have a Kershaw Blur?
I gave away some at my wedding.
Oh,
nice. That was a good knife for that era.
I think so. I still have mine.
If they came out with a new one that had like, I don't know, a little higher end materials, I wouldn't mind it. I always hated that they did the fancier versions in the flat grind as opposed to the hollow grind.
I never knew that.
Yeah, the hollow grind on the standard versions was a better grind.
I wonder.
Just
I think
altogether.
mine is hollow ground. I can't remember.
The old ones are.
I had a bead blasted blade too, which I thought was kind of neat.
That
scratched up, but it always looked good anyway.
That's all Kershaw did back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember feeling like a real fucking spelunker when I found a Kershaw Storm 2 on eBay. That knife was made in 2005. I got it in 2011. I was like, damn, this is like when Indiana Jones finds the Holy Grail. I got it.
Kali Ma. Okay, that's Temple of Doom, but you know.
The Kershaw Storm was a cool looking knife. It's a little mall ninja if you Google it.
I can't picture it.
It was really old, like before either of us started collecting. It was very recurvy, very Ken Onion-y.
Kershaw Storm.
Yeah, heavy on the recurve. The 1470 and 1475. Yeah.
With was yours black or stainless?
It was stainless with the grip tape inserts.
I still think that's a pretty cool knife. I think that could be modernized really well.
Yeah, that actually is an awesome design. I would really not mind seeing Ken Onion bring that one back.
That's a Ken Onion design too?
Oh, yeah. That kind of recurved you only get
with
Ken.
Look at that thing. Well, they're in stock in a lot of places still for $40.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wait, really?
Yeah.
Those are ancient.
Yeah, you can still get them.
Oh. Hey, I might take a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, oh wait, no, I'm lying to you. It's sold out.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I'm sure you could probably. That's the kind of knife you find in like a flea market now. Like one old guy who has a glass table filled with knives that he bought 40 years ago.
That would be
half of Blade Show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Derivative.
Oh, Jake's going to be so mad he missed that.
Yeah.
Because he's apparently gone.
He's rebooting.
Another weird thing that I did was apparently the first knife I spent like over almost $200 on was a bunch of Himalayan imports like kukris and shit. Like, what was I doing with those?
I didn't even want to say the names of those things.
What was I doing with those?
One was called like the Dur or whatever it was.
That's the one I gave to Advanced Knife Bro. Shout out to Advanced Knife Bro.
Yeah.
But I honestly have no idea why I bought all of those. What was I going to do with them?
Because you were the edgiest edgelord.
I would like to go back in time and ask me what thought I was going to be doing with those.
Man, what the fuck?
There it is. I was waiting for it.
I had to add it. Yeah, that was a weird trend. Another weird trend I've identified in my previous purchasing, I used to be really into tomahawks. Like, why the fuck was I buying custom-made tomahawks in 2012?
I don't know.
Because they were
Edgiest
awesome?
edgelord. I still think that tomahawks are kind of cool, but
Oh, they are cool, but like to resurrect a very old joke of ours, not really into tree shit. Like, what did I need all these tomahawks and gigantic fixed blades for? What was I doing? Let's be
They
honest.
fit under your trench coat.
Hey, it worked for Milla Jovovich in that Resident Evil movie where she had the two kukris.
can we just put something out there? Nothing worked in the Resident Evil movies.
What?
They're making a Netflix show of it.
Adam, you
Ah,
liked
that was a-
Suicide Squad. I cannot take your opinion on action movies seriously.
You're telling me after seeing Resident Evil 18, you didn't want two kukris that you hid under your trench coat?
It didn't make any sense.
I mean, I don't
Yes,
care.
it
I
was
still wanted
supposed
them.
to make sense.
I mean, but seriously, did you guys ever play Resident Evil video games?
I did not actually.
They're Japanese nonsense, and they still make a lot more sense than that movie ever did.
I think you're really like not. You're looking past the two kukris and the
Yeah.
trench coat thing.
Yeah, I think you might be overthinking the whole movie
The whole
here.
thing. Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
Actually, you
But
want to hear an edgelord knife? Oh, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you didn't. Please tell me your edgelord knife, because I have the ultimate edgelord knife that I want badly.
Okay,
Continue.
2012 Kershaw
This is gonna go
Talon
on
2.
forever.
Wait, what was it?
I bought the Kershaw Talon 2 in 2012. It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
assisted folder that was just a hawkbill.
That was re-released as a ZT.
It was. That
They
is correct.
they thought the quality was that damn good that they stamped the ZT logo on it. And you know what? I kind of dig it.
Yeah, that's another one where it's like, I wouldn't mind having that one back.
Yep. I was confused. It's like, is it the same knife? It is the exact same knife.
Just
with
an
a different logo
F30V.
on it.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? They changed the steel
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
Didn't know that.
Yep, that's it.
But the edgiest edgelord knife right now, in my opinion, is by ADV Tactical and Reich, and
Oh,
it's that giant Persian made of old H.R. Giger statues.
It looks like a rib cage.
I fucking love it. I want it.
I have to agree.
Yeah, I
It
don't
looks
know why
incredibly
I want
well machined.
it. It has to be. Look at that. It's an integral. It's a crazy design. I mean, it's kind of ugly, but also awesome.
Yeah.
You know.
It's one of those things you
feel
would never
like-
carry, but
It's one that he flips while listening to Five Finger Death Punch.
That's your band, not mine.
yikes.
Don't even try and turn that stuff on me. Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's the
I'm
kind of
not
knife
metal enough for
it's
you.
the kind of knife you flip while watching Suicide Squad.
That's straight Jorts music.
I like Suicide Squad. What's wrong with Suicide Squad?
It's the most phoned in superhero movie of all time.
Yeah,
Garbage.
because superheroes are so realistic.
No, I didn't say realistic. I said phoned in.
Spider-Man
I
3?
understand.
You want to argue about Spider-Man 3?
Okay, Spider-Man 3 is better than Suicide Squad.
What about the Eric Bana of the Hulk?
No.
I actually didn't. I mean, at that time, that wasn't a bad movie.
It was a terrible movie.
You remember when Edward fucking Norton was the Hulk?
Yeah, well,
he was better?
Yes, he
Well,
actually was.
they wanted Edward Norton to continue through that, but Edward Norton said, "Nah."
That is actually unfortunate. He would have been
Yeah, it
great.
is.
Yeah, he's better because he's Edward Norton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I
mean,
guess
I
fuck
agree
Eric
with that.
Bana.
Eric Bana. I mean, I liked that movie when it came out. Again, that's early 2000s. You didn't expect anything out of a superhero movie, and it was halfway decent.
But you like The Boys.
The Boys, probably one of the best shows I've watched in a long time.
I'll have to
And
check that out.
and Jake is probably. I made him watch it. He watched it all in a day as well. You know, because he's been working on that
Fantastic.
shop so well.
You want to hear a wild segue?
Yes.
Speaking of something that was big and green, the Benchmade 755 mini pocket rocket designed by Siebert. Shane Siebert.
Shane Siebert, yeah.
Why do you have a spreadsheet of all your knives?
Because I got a lot of free time, man. I had a lot of free time.
He is the most left-brained person I know.
I'm the Rain Man of knives over here. I'm taking it away from Jake.
I'm kind of a
You're
buy high.
definitely earning that.
I kind of buy high, sell low. So if I kept up with all this, it would depress me.
Yeah,
right.
the mini pocket rocket was how do we say not good?
Yes, I mean, I like the design.
I like the custom.
I liked it.
I don't know. The Benchmade was just like
Yeah. And
My
you know what? They
favorite
did a
Benchmade.
dual action one, a gold class.
no, that was the big one. This is the small
940.
one. This was the big chode. Well, small chode.
Right. Yeah, I don't like that.
One bench.
They make a small Shane Siebert now.
It's even
Don't
smaller.
they? They make an
Yeah,
even
they make
smaller
the
one
micro
now,
pocket
right?
rocket. But Adam, you were saying
That thing looks terrible.
Yes.
I can't
Levon
imagine.
finish.
he'll just let him go.
I'm sorry. I can't imagine why anyone would want that thing.
The Benchmade Ruckus was my favorite Benchmade.
Oh shit, that was a nice knife.
Ruckus.
Yeah.
And now they're like $600.
Is that the
if you
Neil
want
Blackwood
one.
one?
Yes.
That was a cool knife. What happened to Neil Blackwood?
His customs are still out there,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Maybe?
He's still extremely talented. I don't.
Yeah, he made
Who knows?
I picked up a new old stock Benchmade mini skirmish, which was another design from Neil Blackwood.
Yes.
The frame lock, apparently in March 2014. That was a good knife. I actually regret selling that one.
I
also
bought.
had a mini skirmish.
Oh,
Tip down
Jake.
carry.
Yeah.
It was tipped down. Yeah, that was unfortunate. But now I know
Yeah.
talented people who could retap it.
Jake and I had a Benchmade kick for a little bit. I had bought the Adamas fixed blade when that came out. I thought it was the Shiznit. We still have it.
Yeah, it's right next to me.
You know they still sell that thing, and it's still like $100 and some in a lot of places. It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, I had some pretty bad Benchmades in this list. Y'all remember the 53 Mangus, the Marlowe EDC Balisong?
No.
Exactly.
No,
No one remembers that one.
I also had the
Nope.
the Bone Collector series. Do you remember those?
Yeah, their old hunting line. With
I had
You remember
the large,
the red box?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
came-
old.
but I still have the Bone Collector.
Really?
This
Oh, isn't
yeah,
that your
and
truck
truck.
knife?
It is my truck knife.
Truck
Yeah,
knife.
it is the truck. It's still, and it's moved from truck to truck, which is crazy. Yeah, hopefully it'll be.
There's
a Hellcat
an
knife.
there's an auto Ruckus you can buy now.
Yeah. The Ruckus has continued for like the generations have continued unbroken for many years, but now it's it's an auto.
Well, when
I
you
don't
have a
think that
trademark
one's
name.
Blackwood. I don't think the Ruckus is Blackwood. I think it's.
Maybe they did what they did to Doug Ritter and steal his design, but slightly
yeah,
change it.
maybe that might be true.
I'm not going down that road.
Yeah, we have a bad. Let's not do that. Oh, here's a weird one. Microtech Whale Shark.
I love that knife. I wanted one so bad.
Dude, I found like an old video where I was like, this is the best flipper I own. That knife was the slowest fucking flipper in the world.
Was it just a flaccid?
It
sort of like,
opened at the same speed that like the Earth rotates. It
I
was
had
just
this-
on
so
bearing,
the-
so it felt
The
smooth.
Spider Code Domino.
Oh, that came. That was later.
That was later. Yeah, my
but
Whale
not
Shark
a
was
good
2012.
flipper. Not a good flipper.
Mine
No,
flipped.
the Domino was about that time period too.
Yeah,
No.
2012.
2010.
Really? Because
Yeah,
I got the Domino when it came out.
I loved it. But at that time, it seemed like a great flipper because there were no real flippers except
Yes.
for a Hinderer.
Just like the
Right.
Spyderco Southern was when apparently that
I
came
saw
out.
someone post their Southern up the other day. I was like, how the hell does someone still have a Southern?
There's
Everyone
like
thought that knife was
65
awesome.
There's like 65 custom knife makers that started out modifying
That
something.
literally started their career based on modifying Southerns.
Dude, I
That's
remember
And they
getting
did fantastic work.
true. Yeah, a lot of them turned out
Kevin
nice.
Smock.
Kevin Smock is basically the poster child for I modified some Southerns.
Yeah, he's probably still got some that he hasn't done yet. But
He also
congratulations
got
on the
married.
nuptials. Yeah.
He got married, so congratulations, Kevin Smock.
Your wedding gift is that we forget about all of the unfinished mini Southern orders.
Yeah. Yes.
But the Southern was a real piece of shit. Like that in January 2013, when I first got it, I thought was a revelation, and
It was
like,
expensive too, wasn't it?
it was like $260.
Yeah. Yep.
And it
Yes.
flipped terribly by modern standards.
Hmm.
But it was on bearing, so like we thought it was the shit. Why were the handles asymmetric? Why?
So I don't know. So my first expensive knife, and I think you had one on your list as well, Dave, was the ZT 0350 TS.
Oh yeah, I got the Tiger Stripe.
Tiger Stripe.
December 2012, dark times.
And I still have mine.
No way.
I still have mine.
Dude, that's the picture that started the tactical shits.
Jake and I
wish I
also
still had mine.
we put a texture on the G10 handles. It is a combo edge, and I think we de-assisted it at one point and then re-assisted it.
That's not as disgusting as the Zero Tolerance 200 I had. It was hideous. Let me send that
Jake
one
has a Zero Tolerance 200 still.
I do.
I still like the
have it.
300 though.
That's just, I got out of the assisted thing, so I couldn't really do the 300.
The de-assisted 300 is made for taking out grizzly bears.
It's a big boy.
It really is. That thing was like 8 and a half
I
ounces.
love it. Yeah,
It's
but
cool
I
knife.
love it.
I can appreciate it now. At the time, it sort of didn't really do it for me. But I liked my 0350 so much. The knife I bought after that was also a ZT 0350,
Which
but
one
it was the limited edition orange.
Oh, I had the
Ooh.
composite blade one apparently.
Ooh,
Yeah. With like the shark fin welding.
Yep. Didn't they make one where they shaved off the top of the knife as
The
well?
360.
Yeah.
SKD.
What the hell?
It was for stabbing people better or some shit.
Oh,
It
makes
literally
sense.
was for stabbing people better. That's actually
That makes sense.
yeah. That was a weird knife. If you have one of those still, shout out to you.
Crazy person.
Yeah.
One of the first knives that made me go fucking crazy was actually one that Jake showed me through a Blade Forum post before I was a member of Blade Forums. It was an Italian knife. Can you guys guess what it was? Jake, I bet you remember.
Line Steel SR1.
I do.
Close. Go ahead, Jake. What was it?
Wait. Yeah, that was a joke, I suppose. It would be a GTC Airborne.
No, dude.
An
it was-
Italian-made
I
knife,
said
I'm
Jake.
sorry. I saw the picture of the GTC and I got completely off track.
What GTC?
Nope.
Where are you seeing a picture of a GTC, bro?
Oh, I mean,
It was the
I'm in
Lion
my
Steel.
photos.
It was
I'm
the
in my
Lion.
old knife photos.
Oh, okay. It was the Lion Steel tie spine. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I thought that
I
was the
ended up
most
having
gorgeous
and you
knife that
didn't.
ever knifed.
You're not wrong. It was very nice.
It's
Yeah.
still a pretty knife. You know what? I kind of wouldn't mind owning one now. Jake had one for a while, and it kind of sucked by today's standards. But I think they still make it, and they remade it under a different brand too.
I think it's still as pretty as ever.
It's still a gorgeous knife. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I still wouldn't mind that.
The before, during, and after photos of the integralness of it are still very cool. Still like that.
And it was Lmax. Jake, do you remember freaking out in your living room about how amazing Lmax sounded?
Not as
probably
much
don't.
as Maximate, but I guess we
Maximate
like
came
steels with
so much
Lmax.
later, it's not even funny. I'm
Yeah.
talking like 2011. I was sitting in your living room before children. You know,
Yeah, that would definitely be before
BC, living room BC. Yeah, but either way, I still think that's one of the more gorgeous knives that ever came out of Italy.
That was a very pretty. I mean, to Lion Steel's credit, they make pretty knives.
And I saw the price. I was like, I'll never own that. It's
Actually-
$350. I don't think I can ever do that.
For sure. I will say that one knife that I actually kind of want back, and this is going to be sacrilege, is a Lion Steel SR1, the Nuttin' Fancy Edition, with the purple aluminum handles and the satin blade that had the Bowie clip point.
That's
Gear
actually a
check,
pretty
bro.
cool knife.
I kind of want that. I kind of want it back. I had it
Yeah,
both in
maybe you
black
should
and in satin.
You want to swing
do
that
you also
podcast
have
dick
the-
at
Yeah.
At the
You
TMP
also had
Nut
project?
Fancy? Yeah.
You have the Bear Grylls Gerber also?
No. I don't know why, but I liked it because it was purple. It just was unfortunately associated with nothing fancy.
All right. That makes me think of another thing. What's the most embarrassing knife you ever bought?
The first custom I ever got.
What was that?
Ooh.
Jake Hoback A10. That the lock geometry was fucked on it. I actually sent it to Alex Dietz of Disappearing with People's Money fame.
Yeah.
And he
Oh,
actually
so
is the one that was
that's
like,
where it went.
he was like, Yeah, there's something really wrong with the lock here. I think you should send it back to him. So he actually returned the knife to me, and I sent it back to Jake Hoback. Can you believe I actually had a good experience?
One less thing for him to actually do, so there you go.
I had a good experience with Alexander Dietz back in the day, which is crazy. Yeah, that's the most embarrassing, expensive knife I bought at that time.
I mean, okay, Adam, what was your most embarrassing knife that you purchased where it was just like, this is just a pile of crap? Doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be anything, but you got it and you're like, what have I done? What was it? Can you think of one?
There's there's one I ground in half and threw in the woods.
But that was recent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't talk about that one yet. I'm talking about way back when.
I'm not. I don't want to mess up your future sponsors. I don't know.
What, you can tag me in. I got another terrible one in the
Go ahead,
hopper,
you
ready
go
to
for
go.
it, Dave.
HTM gun hammer. Got it for Christmas.
Oh!
It was assisted. The assist was so strong, it developed lock rock in like 4 flips from just from the pins just getting bent from the force of it opening.
Is that the one that went back to? No,
that was the custom.
That was the
custom. No, this was a production gun hammer.
Damn.
The spring was so strong in the assist that it literally gave itself lock rock. It self-destructed in like 4 flips. It was truly legendary shit.
That's pretty bad.
It was
Mine
fucking
was
bad.
The Quaken from Quartermaster.
Okay. All right.
It
that
was
is pretty
really
terrible.
like it wasn't worthy of being shit on.
I think mine was also a Quartermaster. Or 2.
I had a Quartermaster.
I owned 2 Quartermasters.
Some of them were okay.
Yeah, I had one that wasn't actually that bad, admittedly.
Both of the ones I had were bad. And I also sent one of them back to Quartermaster only for them to send it back with the exact same problem.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
did the exact same thing. I sent one to them. 2 weeks later, it comes back, and it is the exact same knife. I don't even think they opened the box.
No, I don't think they did.
It was fantastic.
Nice.
To their hidden facility.
I can't believe how long I deluded myself about Emerson's. Like, I kept buying Emerson's up until like 2015. What was wrong with me? I didn't even step in at that time. I didn't have any peers.
Definitely some collectability to certain Emersons, though.
Also, the prices were not that bad back in the day.
As long as they're not made, it's not just the blank from the World Trade Center.
A Mini Commander was like $120 back when I bought one. That was not unheard of.
No.
I always liked the Super Commander.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cool knife.
I like the design. I got these were much cheaper back in the day.
Also, I don't think we've ever really criticized Ernie Emerson's designs.
No, the designs are great.
Yeah.
It's the other parts that aren't designing a knife where it kind of falls apart.
Jake, I know you've had some embarrassing knives. What was yours?
I mean, first and foremost, recommending a Quartermaster. I'm certainly guilty of that.
You definitely did that.
Before we knew.
Dark days.
Yeah, in the dark ages. Most embarrassing is definitely going to be a clone. I'm not as guilty as Dave in this category. I guess I would say like a Spyderco clone, like a military, that I eventually ended up just putting to the grinder, to the 1x30 grinder.
The fondest memory I have of your knife collection, Jake, is the Spyderco Tenacious that you had with the partially serrated and OD green G10 that you told me was incredibly special because it was a sprint run.
Oh yeah.
That was like, oh man, that's a cool Spyderco. And then I realized that he ground all the serrations off into this weird profile.
Terrible.
And then painted nail polish all over it, and then put it into the ferric chloride.
Man, what the fuck?
That might have been the last time I tried to talk my wife into like playing the knife game. Like, here, it's nail polish. You can paint the nail polish on. It'll be something we do together.
Oh yeah.
Also,
I'm sure that was the first and last time.
You can tell that was a long time ago because I have definitely given up since then.
Yeah.
On everything, not just that, but you know.
That is true.
So that's pretty bad.
But that's what led to Whiskey Pickle Knife.
Yeah.
For those of us who've been listening and following for a long time, you know.
Let's see. What other gems we got in here?
Is it embarrassing how many 801s Levon had?
Yes, I want to hear about this.
So very many 801s.
The ZT 801.
I had the original when it came out.
Mm-hmm. And then like 6 more.
No, I don't know where
every conceivable version of it, I think.
Okay, well, let me think about this. So
I got
the first
with
one
at least 4.
So I had the original when it came out, and I sent that to Smock Knives to Pimp.
With the classic satin flats and the
satin
anodized.
Flats and some anodizing. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. He didn't satin the flats. We satin the flats ourselves.
Whoa.
So he had anodized the handles like this denim-y blue, like almost barely put any, anodizing on it. Bronzed the screws and I think he didn't do anything to the blade. So he sent that back. Actually, we traded because he's like, I have one here that's already done. How about I send it to you and you send me yours? I was like, fine. It happened. It worked out. When the black ZT801 was announced, I got one of those. And then I had the what do you call it? The limited edition Copperhead version.
That was a nice one.
And I had the S110V version.
That's a lot of 801s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I like the design that much. I had a exclusive Will Moon mod ZT801. That thing was a disaster after I finally got it, which was difficult enough in and of itself. It came with a free angry phone call from Will Moon, so that was a pretty sick bonus.
Why did you get an angry phone call?
Because I posted on Instagram. I was like, hey, look at how this knife is none of the things I asked for.
Wow.
Yep, so the free angry phone call was included. Yeah, that was my first 801, so that was exciting.
I started getting into that was like the first over $150 knife I bought. I think it was $190 when they came out.
It was probably the best flipper ever made at that point.
Oh, it
at
was
that time,
100%.
There was nothing
compared to it. Yeah.
Nothing touched it.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered it after it was announced.
Dude, I remember
that, Jake.
I had emails about the pre-orders in my inbox.
Yeah. I still kind of think that's a cool knife, but I mean, it's as ubiquitous as any knife.
Dude, it might be their longest running knife at this point because besides the 300 series, because they still have that one model of it right now.
Mm-hmm. The TI or whatever they call it, which is sort of misleading because they're all TI.
They are, but you know what? The 801 certainly has legs. A weird ZT. I think you also had one of these, Levon.
CVCF.
Yeah, the 0560 CVCF with the S110V composite blade. That was
I still think that's
an attractive knife.
And I think that's a really cool knife. I still do. I don't have it anymore.
I don't either. That thing was a very lethargic flipper, but was just really impressive.
It tempted me for a long time. I woke up in the middle of the night thinking of that knife.
Yeah, I was really. I forget what I think I traded a blur. No, not a blur. I traded an SNG for it, if I remember correctly.
I got mine from Kershaw guy.
Damn. Yeah, you got yours direct. That was a cool one. I always wanted a Kershaw 3600 volt, like the first production knife with M390. Had the composite blade. It was M390 on the edge and D2 on the spine, if I remember correctly. CPM D2. It was an RJ Martin design. I still like the look of that knife.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I still want one.
Jake and I both had Kershaw Grooves.
Oh, yeah, that's another old RJ Martin design.
Yeah, that was an unassisted flipper. Jake had the Tanto version, which flipped infinitely better than my drop point version. I still have mine, believe it or not.
RJ Martin had a lot of Kershaw collabs back in the day. He had probably at least 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
He still, and some of them I think they still make.
Maybe the Chill? I'm trying to remember.
I think that's pretty.
But
that's
the Zing,
the classic Walmart knife now.
Yeah, the Zing was an RJ Martin. That was a great little Kershaw back in the day. Damn, I missed that one. I want my Zing back.
I think you can still get a Zing. And Jake had a ripcord.
Yeah, that was definitely on my.
I have to Google that one.
Go Google Kershaw ripcord. That is a weird freaking knife.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Oh. Yeah, I have vague memories of this thing.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's a cool one.
Is it like an
OTF? It was an OTF that didn't have a spring. It had a sheath,
or a button.
or a button. It had a sheath that when you pulled the knife out of the sheath, it deployed the knife.
Okay, that is kind of silly, but I also kind of like it.
It is a little bit cool. It also had a DLC-coded polished blade.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like that. It was your options for polished DLC were Rockstead or
that
the Kershaw ripcord.
Holy
and that was
shit!
it.
Yeah, it was super nice looking. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You don't have it anymore, right, Jake?
No, that's why I was saying it would be on my list of ones that I wish I kept.
Damn, Kershaw did some really cool shit back in the day. That's
I
so weird to think
agree.
about that they made knives like that, and now, most of their stuff is budget models. They moved all this kind of stuff to ZT, but that is just such a weird knife that I can't believe they made it. Damn,
it is a weird one,
and there hasn't been anything quite like it since.
No, absolutely not.
The closest thing I can think of is John Gray's new custom Gravitron.
That's just a straight gravity knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a cool one. I would love to actually see one of those in person, but I bet they're probably pretty expensive right now. That seems like something that would.
I honestly think you can probably get one, probably not too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not something that is, I think, sought after. It's an oddball, but it's not something that people are actively looking for.
Yeah, true. That's kind of a little piece of history.
I'm trying to think what else I may have. Stuff I got rid of that. What's weird? I don't sell that much stuff, to be honest with you. I keep a lot of things. I did sell off a lot of my ZT collection. I kept some, but a lot of the limited edition stuff I kind of sold off because there was a period of time where I wasn't carrying them and they were in demand, so I figured they were better off going off to people that really wanted them.
Dude, the 454 is one that I regret selling.
That was up there. I still think that is probably one of the best production knives.
It flips so well.
It was a great knife.
It was so cool.
With that triple composite blade sort of situation.
$500.
Yeah, Dimitri. And you know what? That seems very reasonable when it came out.
I was absolutely bugging in 2013, 2014. That knife was like the cost of my rent, and I bought it. What was I doing?
I had 3 777s at one point.
Yeah. I did
send that photo to the group.
That's a classic photo. But you can tell where my mind state was in like winter 2013 to spring January 2014.
Not
where I
leaving the house.
Just buying lots of knives, trying to make myself happy with knives.
Yeah, that's really. It's no different than today when you think about it.
No, it was crazy. I was spending so much money that I did not have on knives. That's when shit really took off with my collection, and probably formed the bulk of it. Like when I got my Tycoon, the Brian Ty Tycoon, I saw the email. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll have that done in 2 weeks." When I emailed him about the clear blue, and the knife was done 2 weeks later. It was kind of awesome.
That is neat.
Yeah.
That's about the time that I ordered the Typhoon from Brian.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was my first custom.
Damn, I beat you to customs with my.
But I definitely won.
Yes, you absolutely did. Yeah. One I didn't talk about is I had an Andre Van Heerden M38.
Oh, how was that?
Custom from South African maker. It was really great, except for my luck with custom knives. Like it eventually developed some lock slip. I sold it as is, and someone sent it to Andre. Is probably very happy with it. But
that's good.
That was a nice knife.
How about you, Adam? What else you got?
First custom.
I don't know.
You're a fabulous guest. Did I ever tell you that?
I've owned so many knives, and I don't keep anything.
What's the first custom knife that you can think of?
Poltergeist Works.
Which one did? Oh, really?
Yeah, I had like 3 or 4 of them, but they were all purchased secondary.
I also got one on secondary.
I take that back. I had a Gen 1 Hinderer before that.
Holy shit. Yeah, that was basically a custom.
Yeah,
and it was basically the fireman's knife, so I guess that makes sense.
Well, that one I didn't get from him. I got from like USN or something.
Gotcha.
I mean, I've had so many knives.
It's true. To this day, you have a lot of knives. Should we take a break real quick and talk about some modern knives that have come in?
Sure.
I got a new Kizer today. Shout out to Kizer. Thank you again for your sponsorship goodness. It is the Jared Price. I don't know what it's called.
Is it the little friction folder?
It's a detent slip joint basically.
Oh, yeah. I just saw that one just randomly show up at dealers.
So it's just it's like the Black Star.
Yeah.
It's hefty. There's no internal milling. But it's nice.
Is it the beefy zip slip, or is this newer than the zip slip?
The zip slip
came in today.
Vanino.
Oh, okay.
The zip slip is an actual slip joint. This is a detent slip joint. So it's got like just the detent open, detent closed. It's got a big top flipper sort of situation. Jared Price is a custom maker, a young guy. Makes some really decent knives. Killer Steel.
He's been around for a while now.
Yeah.
Jordan. A decade.
Yeah. Jordan has one of his custom knives, and I got to handle it, and it's actually pretty damn good. So he's been around a while, you said?
Yeah, it was like 2000. I remember probably 2009, 2010 when I was trying to get he was just making friction folders and starting to make frame locks at that time, and he had like a GeoCities website. It was pretty sweet. And then all of a sudden,
did it play a MIDI version of the Degeneration X theme song? Because that's the only way that would be cool.
Yeah. I told my son I'm sorry. Today I asked him if he had his flux capacitor on the way going to school, and he's like, "What's a flux capacitor for?" And I said, "It's
ask your teacher."
This is what makes time travel possible, son. He just stared at me.
That's great.
Sorry. That's my day.
Nice.
But yeah, Jared Price has been around a while.
Yes, I also got the Mass Drop, not Mass Drop. I'm sorry, Drop, formerly Mass Drop. Terzuola, what is it called? It's it's the
ATCF.
ATCF. So
Tanto.
It's a classic Terzuola design. It's very nice. It's got the thumb disc and the flipper, titanium liner lock. Comes in a bunch of different specs. The one I got is probably not my favorite spec for that knife because you pay a little extra for the satin blade. It's We Knife produced, and the satin is better than it used to be from them. But you get the carbon fiber and the bronze titanium. I actually really like the standard G10 ones. They come in like a coyote brown, which is like a burnt orange G10, and a blue, and they have like a working finish on them. And they're around the $159 price point. I think that's a really good deal for that Tanto.
Yeah, I think that's the model to go with.
Yeah, if you're gonna get one, I would skip the silver twill. I would skip the regular carbon fiber and go for the one that's at the $159 price point, and I think you'd be pretty happy with it. Which will probably be months from now.
Silver twill is a lot. Can't say
it might
I've
be
ever
silver
bought a knife.
carbon fiber or whatever they call it. I don't know what it is, but it's got the.
It used to be called silver twill.
Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite handle material.
It's different. I'm sure it's going to be the one that a lot of people go for just because it looks shiny. But
True.
if I'm giving you my opinion, I would go with the blue or coyote brown G10. I think those look really good. Slicey Dicey on YouTube actually got the blue one, and I think that's probably the one I would go with if I was purchasing one.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what else am I getting? Fanatic Edge is sending me one of the new... I wanted to purchase one at Blade Show, but I wanted it in purple. So Fanatic Edge was kind enough to purplify one of the Chaves Ultramar. What's it called, Adam? What's that model called?
It's the 229.
Yeah, the bigger one.
229. Yeah, the big guy. So I'm excited to get that.
Once they do those with a carbon fiber front scale, I'm all over it.
You're getting one of those.
It's very good.
Yeah, they're very cool. They're Riot produced, so
yeah,
it's very good.
I imagine a carbon fiber front scaled one will not be far off,
Absolutely.
since that's what they did with the smaller one.
We gave some feedback to Terrain 365. I forgot to tell you guys this. I was talking to Jeremiah at PVK, who was kind enough to send us that sample to take a look at. they're working on. The feedback was given to them. It looks kind of cool that they're really interested in the feedback and putting that into a revision of the model at some point. So we're going to see like maybe lighter scales, maybe differences in thumb studs, things like that. Because I really did like that model in the Dendritic Cobalt.
Nice, that's cool. Jake sent a picture.
What Jake sent a picture of what?
Of some of your old ZT801s, but I forgot the tilt is in there, and you had a tilt.
I did have a tilt, and that tilt was interesting because Jeff of Tough Knives fame actually made a scale for that knife.
Is it bad that I recognize that he's the one that made that scale, because that one knife was very recognizable? That's how small shit used to be actually, back in the day.
You know who I bought it from? If you can tell me who I bought it from, I'd be really impressed. I want to say. Go for it.
I bet I'll recognize it when you say it.
So I don't know. I can't remember what his name is now. He's Carlos. He's
Oh
Fresno GTX 1960.
yeah, that guy's been around for a while.
He has an amazing collection. Yeah. Probably my favorite knife collection on Instagram. He's got all those Marlows.
Yep.
But I bought it from him, and he always gave me a fair price. Anything I ever bought from him, I got at a very good price. I think I paid like $400 or something for that knife. And I had it for a while, and that thing, by today's standards, is an amazing flipper. That thing flipped great. It's a weird shaped knife, basically a gigantic utility knife. Very cool.
The lock bar was like a right angle.
Yep.
And it was cut out at a right angle, which is really cool.
And the liner on the carbon fiber side had tilt written, actually milled out in the frames. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah. I miss the premium Kershaws. They're so different from what ZT does. That's why they're so cool.
I think that was pre-ZT though.
It was. Yeah.
And then there was another one they did just before the ZT line launched. Was it a Tim Gallion design?
The one that looked like had the bomber on it, basically.
They did that one.
That was the Junkyard Dog.
The Junkyard.
Yeah, it was.
Junkyard Dog, and then there was another one. I feel like, was it an RJ Martin?
There's the 3600 volt. They always had, I think, 4-digit numbers. The ridiculous.
The high end one.
There was a Speed Form.
Is that Speed Form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sounded like fucking Frank Reynolds. The
Speed Form.
They made a production version of the Speed Form, but the limited edition one was pretty slick. Yeah, it had the Lmax edge with the D2 spine, and the CNC'd titanium handles. Yep.
I remember searching for one in my obsessive Kershaw days.
MSRP $250.
Yeah,
that's so sad.
And everybody was like, "Oh my god, it's so expensive."
Now it's just like, I want that.
I think the tilt was $200.
I think the tilt was more. I think the tilt was like 300 or 400. The tilt was expensive.
Was it?
Yeah, oh yeah. The tilt was not okay, I'm an idiot. The tilt was $220. Holy shit. I had a
tilt.
Yeah, I figured it was pretty low.
And it was Vanax 75, the blade. Like, when has another knife been made of Vanax 75?
Jake, I still have everything in that second picture you sent. I still have my Zombie Tech Socom Delta. I think we've talked about it in other episodes of the podcast.
I sent that in case we were still talking about embarrassing decisions like Advanced Knife Pro. Advanced Knife Pro always makes fun of the zombie theme stuff.
Yeah, but even when I bought it was sort of tongue-in-cheek. It wasn't because I was like, oh my god, let's go get some zombies.
That is a photo of all zombie-themed items.
Oh my dear lord. My Speedform boner is completely gone. Have you ever seen the pocket clip?
I can't remember.
It is a milled clip that is tipped down and threads into the pivot.
No.
It's truly horrific. Let me send this to you guys. I never saw the other side of this knife.
Holy crap. You know what? I still kind of want it.
Nope.
I want one.
2009 American-made knife of the year. Damn, that was way before we even got... I mean, not way before. That was 2 years before we started collecting.
It threads into the pivot?
Studs back. It's on my short list.
Jake, while you were gone, we actually talked about those thumb studs and how well they worked on the blur.
I could hear you, and you couldn't hear me for a good 5 minutes.
That's funny.
As I was just screaming and hitting buttons and changing settings.
So yeah, it was the Volt and the Speed form. Those were pretty crazy.
Oh, here's another knife from a very bygone era that I really wanted, and I forget the name of it. Fuck.
Wow, good job.
Oh, it was the AG Russell ACs in ZDP 189. Just remembered it as soon as I said I didn't remember it. Or was that not the one that was in ZDP?
I can't even picture that thing, dude.
This is... Let me find this thing. No, the ACs...
Probably the same one that I wanted, and I can't picture it either, but there was definitely an AG Russell.
It was a frame lock that I think was made by Kershaw as an OEM. And I will send this
I'm trying to
now.
scroll back through my Instagram feed. While everyone's looking, I want to thank everyone for their tactical shits posts.
That actually happened.
Oh my god.
They've been amazing. Remember, you guys can still tag us. You can use the hashtags tactical shits. That's plural. Also, you can also use hashtag KNP always ready. That's the other hashtag that I've been using. So remember, you can take a picture of take a selfie of you taking a crap. No poop, no actual turds in the photos, please. That will get us.
This is literally the worst.
Yes. Hold the knife in reverse grip or in your mouth. Those are the rules.
I hate this podcast.
This is the lowest. This is the lowest.
There
point.
is some
This is
weird,
the lowest point of this podcast.
weird things if you hit that hashtag.
You guys know for a fact that it's not the lowest we've ever stooped.
How is this guy a tactical
What's
shit?
lower? What's lower? This could get more interesting than old knives. What's worse than what you just said? Take a photo of yourself taking a shit and tag us in it. That's what you just said.
That's true.
I'm sending everything to Dave I find under tactical shits.
So that AG Russell's ACs, you could get it in ZDP 189. That's crazy, because that was a long time ago.
I like that steel.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Kershaw Volt, the 3600 Volt looks so cool. If anyone has one of those, let me know.
I would like to see one.
I'm prepared to make a very poor decision.
A very
Dude, I'm going to get it, and it's going to flip like it's from 2009. That's the worst part.
It's just like, ugh. It barely locks up.
Flaccid.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a flaccid flipper.
This hobby was a lot harder to explain to people when you would hand them the knife. And the most they could get it to flip was like 25%. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I think I will argue, Jake.
It flips so well.
I will argue that it's harder to explain now because you can buy a freaking Civivi that flips like a freaking $1,000 whatever back then. So now you can any knife you buy or an Mtech, and they flip great. They have bearings and they work.
Bottom of that Mtech thing.
Yeah. And
how many awesome knives have they made now?
There's a lot of them out there now. I don't know how awesome. I can't speak for how awesome they are, but there's a lot of them now. You can if you go on Amazon and you type in like Mtech, I think they call it Mtech Evolution or whatever. They have tons of knives, and they're creeping up in price. There's some that are like over $100.
Jesus Christ! What have you done?
Yes.
All right. Why did old knives used to flip like a person that is having sex and trying to make it last more than 2 minutes? Very small movements.
Specific.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of reasons.
There's definitely a lot of reasons for that.
Good China, it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, good China. Hashtag good China.
Oh, that joke went over terribly.
You know, that was.
This whole section's getting.
I think we all had to.
Seriously, that like the.
I just felt sad for Dave.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
That's unfortunate.
Did Jake just reveal too much about himself? Yeah.
Wait, me?
It was
Dave's
Dave.
the one.
I'm sorry, Dave. Did I say Jake?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I meant Dave.
did.
I meant Dave. I'm just so used to,
Yeah.
calling you out on stuff.
Jake is obviously fertile.
Yes. Too fertile.
So that Kershaw Volt,
fertile.
it's cool. I really gotta try and turn this one around. It had a really little pocket clip. It looks very
so everyone tag us in your shit photos.
Levon, give him 2 minutes to explain himself.
And Dave, let me give you a little advice as a youngster coming up who might get married one day. The faster you are, the more your wife will appreciate those
the quicker the suffering ends.
30 to 40 seconds. Yes, the quicker the suffering ends.
Y'all remember the Kershaw tirade?
No.
That was a knife.
About titanium in it?
You got to give it a couple minutes to calm down.
Is that your joke there? I guess that makes sense.
No, I meant literally. You need to let it die for a couple minutes.
You
can't go straight into a tirade.
I'm dying a little bit right now.
The Kershaw tirade. It was a knife that existed.
Yeah. What did it look like?
It had one of the funny composite blades. All right, I'm crash and burning here. Send this one.
I'm trying to think of other knives that I've had that have gone away.
I wanted a bunch of these.
I guess that's the sound of us all getting a picture of that thing.
Yeah.
It's the knife that looks like it's melting. It's another Ken Onion
drippy.
design.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from Ken Onion's
Old Drippy.
Drip too hard. Drip or drown, baby.
Take a bite of my head. At this point, I think you taste better without the ranch.
I'm half penicillin. Eat my head.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Someone will get that reference. Someone will get that.
Old Drippy, dude.
Old Drippy.
Jesus God.
Dude, I got a bad...
They should, a number of Knife Nuts jokes technically did start with Aquatine.
Yeah, that's true. See, you gave it away.
Oh, yep.
Oh, I was
okay. I remember Old Drippy now.
To wait for someone to just DM you the name Aquatine Hunger Force, but yeah, we basically have Carl as a host.
That's true.
So.
It's very true.
Yo, how many Browse blades are you gonna admit to owning?
I had one.
3.
Damn.
4 if you count the Silent Soldier fixed blade.
Okay, so mine was very expensive.
Oh, because you got the Silent Soldier frame block, right?
No,
correct.
You had 2.
Nah, 1.
Was I the only one that I thought that I bought the carbon, the old Silent Soldier flipper from you?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
I had
one
for a while. Someone bought it from me. Someone else that we were friends with. I think Pat, our buddy Pat, who doesn't listen and no one knows, so that doesn't matter. But
I had Barry's. Barry let me borrow his for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
I
then
thought it
you
was the
got
Shiznit because I thought it was a custom knife.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you told me it was a custom knife, Jake.
Well, he kind of pumped them up like they were customs.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
this was the same time we both thought that Quartermaster was a knife brand, and
That's true.
Maybe had like a museum in Texas. So, sorry.
You thought there was a small chance that museum was real? Maybe you really do need
very small chance.
Maybe you really do need to strap into the harness while they raise you.
Do you know what knife I kind of miss that I sold? And it's like the stupidest one. It's not that stupid. It's the mirror polished annex with the meteorite inlays.
That was a cool knife to show people.
Yeah, but it was useless otherwise.
Yes. Yeah. I don't really blame you on that one.
But it was cool
for selling it. It was.
I also one of the ZTs I regret selling was the original 392.
Yeah, that was. I mean, you can kind of recreate the magic with 8 of the other versions they've made of it. But
what's weird is I had a car with the same cubic inches of engine.
Look, you could have taken your pictures with it on the hood scoop or something.
I'm pretty sure I fucking did at some point.
Wait, no. That knife came out when you had the truck when that knife came out. Because when I met you, you had the pickup truck, and that was 2015, 2014?
I guess you're right.
Yeah. 392 came out way after that.
You
missed out on an opportunity for a very contrived photo.
Bummer.
Is
Yeah.
your truck currently a 392?
No, it's a 6.2. 392 would be 6.4.
I have no idea how you knew that off the top of your head, but
because I knew what the cubic inches and the liters of my cars were.
Fair.
Either way, I also had a Jake Hoback Quayback Mid-Tech.
The original ones?
The original Mid-Tech.
Oh yeah, same here. I remember that. That early Mid-Tech era was trash.
That bad. It wasn't that bad.
I know, but in comparison to now and how expensive they were, that's the thing.
Yes, I agree.
That thing was like 450, 475 or something.
Are there more or less options for a knife maker doing a Mid-Tech in America today than there were
in America? Less.
Then?
I'm gonna say less.
I would. Aren't there fewer options?
Or the same
today?
amount?
That's terrible. Yeah.
Could also be the same amount, but
I think
nope,
we need
just
like an
less likely to be
guest on this
used.
topic.
Yeah, I want to say there's less. I don't know. I mean, well, Millet's not doing other people's OEM work anymore, so.
Yeah, but did they fall off the face of the earth or just say we're done?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Where are they at?
We need. I think this is a topic that's worth its own.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think you may have stumbled upon a good conversation here. Table that one for a future episode.
Sorry for breaking character. I'll go back to being your Omega or your Beta or whatever the fuck I am.
Jeez.
I don't know.
What
I don't
is
know what
going
that's
on?
about. Yeah, the Southern Toke was from the same era as the Quebec Mtech.
I had a Southern Toke.
I still have
that was
mine.
good. That was good.
That was actually a good knife.
Yeah, no, that one has definitely stood the test of time as in terms of mid-techs from 2014, 2015. I'm definitely happy with that one.
Didn't he have a hand in actually? He did some part of that assembling of the knife, or
Yeah, he did. I think he actually did a lot on that.
I think he had the blades ground, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's correct.
right.
Yeah, that was nice. I still have mine. It's pretty good.
Another weird one from my ZT era was the 0450 Sinkovich one.
Oh, the Sinkovich Touch one with the
There
milling.
there were 20 of them.
God,
they
the
milled
touch.
the Sinkovich Touch.
Didn't you have the recently have the? I mean, that was after the podcast started though. The Damascus one.
I still have it.
Oh, do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't have seen that coming.
Yeah. You hear that,
He settled on
ZT?
that
I
one.
still have
He
it.
was like- yeah, he settled on it. He was like, I'm only gonna keep one 450, and this is the one.
Yep,
Right.
that's true. I still have a bunch of ZTs.
Yeah,
I have it,
Oh yeah, you have it right now.
so you don't have it.
But you know what I mean. I still own it, sort of.
Possession.
Yeah,
It's
there you go.
actually pretty nice.
It's not bad. I think it's a good knife.
I had an XM18 slicer at one point, 3.5-inch slicer, and now that they have those no choil skinny ones at DLT trading, it's like, damn. I wish I'd spent that same money on this exact model and not the one I
That
bought.
XM18 might be the XM18 to end all XM18s.
It definitely is.
Yeah. Jake, did you see it? It's a non-choiled slicer, skinny.
Yeah.
Let me go look this up.
An M390 for the normal price.
I bet Adam buys one before this podcast is over.
I was gonna buy that Terzuola from Drop, and then I realized that it doesn't ship for a little while, and I didn't.
I'll send you this one
2020.
to play with.
It is January of 2020.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think it says January 20th, 2020, which I understand. I'm
Yeah,
not
sure.
I'm not, but the one in Coyote Brown looks fantastic.
I do like that one. Yeah.
My
So
favorite
I
You know what?
will
You know
own
what it
those.
is. You know what it is, Adam. Remember we were looking at those Shiro 111s,
Mm-hmm.
and they all come in those like earth tone G10s.
Yeah, I almost
It
ordered
sort
one
of
those
satisfies that look.
That Russian.
today. Okay, let's see here. No choil Spanto, no choil slicer.
No choil slicer. That's what you want.
Oh my
Slicer.
God.
So it's a 3-inch, no choil.
They have the 3.5-inch one now. That's
Do they?
yep.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep, there it is.
And it's a
Wow.
skinny, so it's lighter and skinnier.
That's
Ooh,
a
and they
good
have
one.
it in orange.
Yeah, they still have a fair amount of them in stock. So like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's not
you
just
can
like the
definitely
scraps.
buy a Hinderer now.
I have grown to really appreciate DLT.
They take fantastic
DLTs are-
pictures.
They're good people, and they ship out quickly, and their prices are reasonable. And I don't think there's anything wrong with DLT.
Yeah, and they get lots of cool specific Hinderers that other people don't get.
That is true.
They carry my knives. No big deal. The
That is
they
true.
did. They had the
do.
primordial. I remember
I
that.
believe I suggested that you reach out to them. Did I not?
I don't know.
Wow, look at that.
There's a lot of hate coming from you. The
I don't know if that's hate. It's kind of like love.
I kind of like this. Okay, I might order one of
I
these.
told you he's gonna buy one. I know.
Well, you're just mad because you can't buy one right at this moment.
That's probably true.
Did you tell anybody about your automatic?
No. Should we? But I didn't want. Should we talk about automatics right now?
Well, I just meant the.
The Socom.
Yeah, we both got one. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah. I always wanted one, and now that they come in purple, I was like, yeah, gotta have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice.
Yes.
The hard coat anodizing on those.
Their anodizing is very nice.
pretty fantastic.
I still have to put out there, like, honestly, for the money, they're under $300. You can get them in manual or auto. The Microtech Socom Elite is an awesome knife.
Yeah, the anodizing holds up so well.
hard.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
Dave, you
they
still
will
have
jump
yours,
out of
right?
your hand.
Oh yeah, I still have the manual, but
And the auto, I have a manual and I have the auto. The auto literally it kicks hard. It's a very cool knife.
it is.
Yes.
That's they really nailed.
I'm still scrolling through my Instagram to see if there's anything else that really stands out to me. There's a lot of stuff, but I think I mentioned all the ones that I really give a crap about.
Yeah, I mentioned.
I still have a Kershaw Ruby.
That's okay. That's pretty cool. They still have one of those.
I still have one of those. Yeah, maybe I'll post it this week or something.
All right, so I think that's the big take-home message from this is Kershaw, bring back the cool limited editions that are not ZTs. They had such a different flavor. I miss those.
I doubt that's going to happen.
No, it's absolutely it's absolutely not going to happen.
I don't think it's realistic to even ask for it to happen.
We can wish.
We can wish. We had you know what I miss, Jake, and you'll maybe echo this. My Halo 5, our Halo 5. We had a joint custody Halo 5.
Yep, I was going to mention our blue Halo 5 and also my Halo, what was it, 1997 Halo 2?
Yeah. A Halo 2, right?
Halo, yeah, I just said that, hopefully.
Did you say that? I'm sorry.
You did.
Too.
Yeah, I think it was like December of 97, I want to say. I held on to that one for a while for an automatic that I can't actually legally carry. Those tend to come and go quickly through my collection, but I really like that one. That was a good knife.
I have a zero fucks given to the automatic laws in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Mainly because I don't commit crimes with my knives.
Let's not necessarily endorse that view, but I 100% agree. It's the same
Correct.
thing.
It's probably okay, but no, I can't endorse it.
Right. Not that you leave the house, Jake.
That's a good point. I can start collecting
Yeah,
automatics.
you can carry it all you
God,
want
if
at your
you thought
house.
I didn't leave the house before. Now I'm really never going to leave the house.
The only auto I've had is a Protec Sprint. I feel like I should probably get another one. Not that I really like autos at all, but just for sake of collection.
One that I have of Adams that I have now that I've never handled really was the standard Truidon. It's smaller than an Ultratech.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
3
know
inches.
It's so good though.
I really like that one.
I'm not an OTF guy though. I like the side folding automatics.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I love the OTFs.
I think I'd prefer OTFs.
I definitely need a deadlock, and I definitely need something like a UTX 85 or like a smaller, dual action OTF. But preferably
I got
with
that
the button in the right place.
Right. So you want the Dirac, the new.
The
Dirac.
That's the only one that fits that description.
Yeah.
They do. Microtech at least does now make that. So someone give me one of those and a deadlock, and I'll be happy.
I emailed the appropriate channels to get you a Harrier, by the way.
Oh, that is an excellent. Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens.
I have my reasons.
Did you see Brian Ty's American production company is making OTFs now too?
Yeah, that's
Brian Ty and friends.
That's old news, but you know.
That's not. These are pretty new.
No. Yeah, if you went to
played
Blade
with them
Show,
at Blade Show.
Sure.
Yeah, if you went to Blade Show,
They're hitting
those are
dealers.
old news.
They're finally hitting dealers.
I was about to stick up for you, Dave, and then he said the Blade Show thing, and no,
Bam.
Levon.
Should we throw a rest in peace in there? Or...
Oh yeah. Dearly
It is
departed.
amazing how well he is doing from.
Oh my
from the
God.
grave.
Dude,
So here's the.
He's the Michael Jackson of knives.
I'm not sure. I told this yet, but did I mention that I told Brian Ty that
Yes.
in the Knife Nuts podcast
No,
universe,
you didn't.
he's
didn't
actually
tell it.
dead.
I
You
told it.
did.
And
Oh,
it was super awkward.
were you there with me when it happened?
Yes, I was standing there. I might have mentioned it.
I thought he took it pretty well.
He probably had
I
no
mean, as well
fucking
as-
idea what you were talking about.
No, he does. We've met.
He didn't know
before.
what he said. What's a podcast?
That's that I can't.
We ain't shit.
No, he doesn't. I mean, come on.
No, I believe
Look
it.
at the guy. He looks like a cross between Mark Twain and Colonel Sanders.
Wow, that is perfect.
Yeah.
He is a fantastically nice person, though.
I absolutely love him. Absolutely love him, and his
customer
sense of style
service is incredible.
My second custom knife is a Brian Ty custom. I couldn't have been more pleased with the experience.
I agree.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah.
We all do love Brian Ty
Yeah.
and his
Even
cowboy boots.
in Canada.
I was very happy with my Tycoon.
It's funny. I'm going through my older posts, and it's funny for me to see the same knife over and over again. So like it's like the same few knives getting posted every other day or something like that. It doesn't happen a lot these days. This episode of the Knife Nuts podcast is brought to you in part by PVK Vegas. PVK has been selling knives on the internet since 1996. They are the largest microtech dealer in the United States, specialize in automatics and balisongs, and have a strong selection of high-end customs. Visit their showroom on the Las Vegas Strip, a 5-minute walk from the USN show.
Should we discuss the guy that had a conniption over the fact that we installed black tie mascus on a Civivi?
Wait, I missed this.
It wasn't so much a conniption as it was just some kid that just didn't understand the irony, and then went on a tirade about what irony is.
Okay, now I need to. This didn't sound that amusing at first, but now it does.
You know the Civivi that Adam and I did with the. We actually ended up I moved the the Zircotai clip and backspacer onto the Chinese Damascus version of the Praxis, and we reposted it. And the kid, went on this tirade about, you're missing the whole point about Civivis. They're supposed to be affordable knives and that you can carry and use, and now you've completely ruined it.
It's very prescriptive of him.
I mean, it was way more wordy than that. And then we were like, whoa. Somebody attacked him or something. Like, I can't remember who
it was
went off
Eric.
on it. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Eric. He's a good guy. He's also our latest Patreon contributor. So thank you very much, Eric. That's StockC7 on Instagram. And it was very strange. He started going off about what irony is. It was ironic that he was yelling at him about something. I don't know. It was stupid. It was a crazy thing.
How did I miss this one?
Hardly the most ridiculous thing that's been on Instagram the past few days, but I'm not even going to go there.
Did you guys see that Giant Mouse is finally releasing the Clyde, which is a folder they've been teasing for,
Do you think it's also a gravity knife? More likely than not, right?
Hey, they're legal in New York now, so it's okay.
You know what a weird knife I had was? The Matt Cucchiara Mtech.
The Dorado?
The Dorado Mtech.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I had one of those too, and I was like, nah, this isn't 2014 or 2015 enough. Let me send this off to somebody to get rock pattern on the titanium and then flame anodize the clip.
We definitely flame anodized the clip.
It was horrific. I ruined that thing.
Yeah, I had one of those customs.
I'm going to send you a picture of ours, Dave. Hold on.
It wasn't as bad as mine.
It definitely wasn't.
No.
Based around what you just said.
It flipped really well.
I miss Matt. He was a great dude.
Yeah, he had some health issues, right? And he kind of retired after that.
He had some health issues and couldn't work anymore, and that sucked because he was making some cool stuff.
He the Bam Bam, which was in everyone's feed every 2 seconds, he made that.
That's true. And he was one of the first.
Like the Kizer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he kind of put them on the
first
map.
9 Kizers ever made.
That's true. Well, at least the ones with the Kizer logo on them, released by the maker.
Yeah, he was probably a big part of the reason they kind of got popular. So
I would agree with that. I would say that was the genesis of Good China.
No, the exact date of Good China was May 2014 when the Horizon A came out from Riot. When some random dude posted on Blade forums and was like, "Hey, I'm making this knife. It's called the Horizon. If you want one, email me."
That guy was David Dang.
It was.
The A was awesome. I wish he would bring the A back.
I like the CF version of that.
The Horizon A was so good. For the time, it was just truly like mind-blowing. I bought one, sight unseen, sent them the money on PayPal, and somehow it got to me in 3 days from China.
No, that's the way it works. Nope. No, that's the way it works. You can get stuff from China from FedEx in 3 or 4 days, but I can't ship something to Levon in a week.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane that it got here in 3 days from China, but that was incredible. That was definitely the genesis of Good China.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely up there.
I mean, that started it. There was nothing before that.
I feel like the Kizer stuff came before that.
No, Kizer was after that.
Was it?
Yeah, we're old. This is just old people badly remembering things that happened in the past. This is a really exciting episode for our listeners.
There were clones that were suspiciously as good as or better than originals just before the era of Good China. But I would
the Kevin John shit was around before May 2014.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of crossover there. So I would give you that date personally if we're gonna pick an actual date for the BCE, or I mean the
Before Good China Date, BGC.
BGC.
Yeah,
BGC
2014.
The truth is, we don't really know.
I'm at January of 2014 in my my feed right now, and it's pimped ZT801s.
Pimped everything.
That were repimped from 2012.
That was an unfortunate time.
Here's
the
question,
blade was
though.
acid stonewashed, by the way.
Nice, classic.
Did the period of before Good China, or was it just the period before people admitted they were having things made in China? Because we know that was making knives for many years before they became knives.
That's a deeper, darker criminal link,
Yeah,
though.
you're treading on some thin ice there, pal.
Deeper, darker.
No,
You might
I
get
didn't-
a-
I
you
don't
might
have
get
any
a-
sp-
I was to say, you have any
Email.
specifics here?
I have no specific companies. I'm just wondering when
who
China
was making their
actually
shit in China
started-
before that? Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Because, like I said,
honestly,
we know that was making production products for people for like 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, how did they just come out of nowhere making incredibly good knives that quickly?
Correct.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're just giving an affirmation to when people were forced to accept it.
They still don't accept.
That's...
I disagree. I think the people that
sales-
don't
the
accept it
sales
are
suggest.
literally just they're oddballs.
My favorite is a comment that says, "I'll never buy anything from China sent from my iPhone."
Yeah, that
That,
is the truth.
trying to buy knives that are only made in the U.S., your options are more limited than ever, I would say.
You can't hardly buy anything only made in the U.S.
Yeah. I mean, I will just say, we'll just limit it to knives, because obviously you're not going to get an American-made microwave or something. Like, Westinghouse isn't making microwaves here anymore.
The only American-made cars are from Korea.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, yeah. Labor and whatnot. But within the knife world, yeah, you don't really have a lot of options like you used to. So,
That is true.
shout out to everybody who still says they're not going to buy a Chinese knife.
There should be like what's the beer as that used to salute different people? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Only buys American-made knives
Oh, yes.
in 2019.
Yeah.
Collector.
Y'all keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to...
Yes. What?
I'm gonna enjoy all these. Why does it sound like there's running water? Does someone have like a Zen fountain?
Not
Is
me.
that? Is
I'm
it
sitting
me?
in dead silence and a very humid attic, basically, at my top floor, because I turned off the air.
Yo, so good news. It's me. I'm just losing my mind. It's my bathroom. So
You was your toilet running this whole time?
it's very possible.
Go jiggle that handle. We'll wait.
Go jiggle
put
the
on,
handle.
Put on the
Yo,
whole.
my favorite redneck. We're back on the blue collar comedy tour.
Oh Jesus Christ!
If you have
Put
to say,
put the
go
whole
jiggle
music.
the
Brian's
handle.
gonna be so upset he missed this.
Yeah, he will be super upset that he's on vacation and not doing
Yeah,
this.
seriously. We basically took a bullet for him.
I know. I can feel him wanting to be here in spirit. Let's see.
Oh, we have to do another live Instagram giveaway, Levon.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess we do. Is that? I guess
I
we'll
don't
do
know.
that on what?
Maybe
Thursday?
one day soon. Yeah,
Thursday.
whatever.
We're actually going to. I guess this is a good time to say this. In an effort to bring our listeners a little more content, Adam and I will be doing a semi-regular side podcast under the Knife Nuts banner. What that's going to be called, I don't know, but they're going to be around an hour long. We may retread some old topics, but stay pretty on topic with certain things. Maybe you'll hear us talk about automatic knives. Maybe you'll hear us talk about the production process on different things. And it's just something to fill in the time between Knife Nuts episodes.
I think we're calling it Adam the Side Piece.
Damn.
Thanks, Jake.
Yeah,
Thanks,
guess
Jake.
that's pretty
I
good.
appreciate
Sure.
it.
Knife Nuts side piece.
Damn. Right after Chance the Rapper made a whole album about how side pieces will never
I
be
think
better
we're
than your
actually
main
gonna
piece.
call it
Man,
that.
I just hope it's not a slow 2 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
If we're going to be holding...
That's where I was gonna go.
Man.
I just hope you guys can last more than 2 minutes.
I'm surprised this podcast...
Y'all
is
need to
lasting
show
more
off.
than- Wow.
Don't
What else
worry,
is new?
Dave. it'll be nothing but a curse someday.
Hey, help me pick a color on a Hinderer. I'm thinking this blue one with the two-tone blade.
Don't do that because I don't want to buy that one off of you for 30% of what you originally paid for it.
No,
as I have with other
raffle
knives. No, Adam, you're my source for knives that are never used, and then I pay like a dollar. I mean, like a penny on the dollar for them.
It's unlikely I'll keep this more than a week, but I probably will buy one.
Yeah, can't wait to get that one for $200 off you.
It'll have a Timascus clip on it, though.
I'll hold the Timascus clip.
That's possible.
Is there anything going on in the knife world that needs to be brought to our listeners' attention?
No, I feel like this was pretty exhaustive of our old collections.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired of talking about it.
Official like national level adoption of the
hashtag
and post BCG.
God damn it, BGC dog.
BGC. I'm sorry.
You invented this
Instagram.
shit.
Dyslexic in every way.
Instagram crushed all the hashtags.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that.
That's true,
dude. I'm ready for the forum resurgence. It's gonna be like the early 2000s all over again.
Do not hold your breath.
We're all gonna be on the forums.
What was that horrible program that came out like a year and a half ago?
I was gonna say that we already tried to get off. Of
what was the
once,
knife?
Remember?
No.
Everybody signed up.
That
and
fucking
no
scam.
one ever went back on.
No, it was
terrible.
It was horrible.
Because it was only for knives.
No. That wasn't the one.
Oh,
there was one that was supposedly yes, there was. But there was the Veer, something like
Everyone
that.
should just Visco. That one's just for naked women. Posing as art, quote unquote.
Oh. Sounds more like risque.
I think we're just gonna have to start uploading our podcast to Pornhub, which is what everyone does.
Speaking
in
of which,
protest.
Damn, that's probably not a bad idea.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, we should probably start doing that.
Also, I think we need to be able to have this stream on Spotify.
Are we not on Spotify?
Are we not? I don't know. Are we?
Spotify. Side rant for people who want to make podcasts. Spotify is like the only music streaming service that doesn't allow you to just upload your shit. You have to use like TuneCore or something to do it.
Oh. Also, I think we're behind on YouTube uploads.
We are. Okay. We'll do that. But we are not available on Spotify, unfortunately. We are available on Spotify.
Oh, wait, we are?
How fucking bad. Okay, we got to end this. We are 100% available on Spotify. So shout out to all our Spotify listeners.
Serious? We've been on Spotify? How many episodes are on Spotify?
Every single one?
Well, fuck.
All right.
I thought they
Shout out to the few people that actually do listen to it on Spotify, because we had no idea you existed.
This is good.
Wow.
Good job. Yeah, we
so
killed
we are
that one.
We're available on Spotify then. That's good.
Huh.
But not on YouTube. Well, we are, but just I think 36 and 37 are not on there.
Yes, this is not stuff that needs to go to the podcast. Anyway, okay, so listen to us on
I would
Spotify.
like to give an update on the challenge coin situation.
Oh yes.
They are ordered and they will be delivered. I think by the middle of August. So they said they'll be ready to ship around August 9th.
That is my birthday. That's quite a birthday gift.
Oh, how nice. All of our China D2 for You Patreon supporters will be receiving one gratis. As for everyone else in our Patreon, we'll be giving you guys a discount code to buy one at a discounted rate. And then they will be available to purchase for everybody else on Knife Nuts podcast.com. So they're pretty cool. They'll be enameled on one side. They'll have an antique copper finish. They'll have the seagull, which I believe we have a name for. I think someone gave it the perfect name on one of the little live things that Ab and I did. His name is Varg. He's Varg the seagull.
I still like Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal's way better. Let's not name him after Varg.
I feel like Steven Seagal is way too on the nose.
Yeah, but why are we naming shit after Varg for Curtis? Fuck him.
Oh, okay, fine. Steven Seagal it is.
Okay, I'm fine with that. There are much better black metal figures to name things after.
I thought it was
Archibald Meatpants
Flappy
is
Wings.
No,
No,
Archibald
Flappy Wings.
No, that's dumb.
You're dumb.
It is Steven Seagal.
I have
a good name. It's a strong name.
Steven Seagal had some terrible Kershaw knives back in the day with Stingray inserts.
But now he's aligned with Cold Steel, if I remember correctly.
I believe so. He has his own sword.
Can we at least call him Jonathan Living Steven Seagal?
Yeah, Jake just rolls off the tongue.
God.
Damn, you guys got to get a load of the Steven Seagal Kershaw. It's got his signature right on the blade.
That's another one I never owned, but I would like to.
I would like to as well, so that someone could put it to a grinder at some point. But
Adam's been known to do that.
OS 8A stainless steel.
A credit card before. Does that count as a Steven Seagal Kershaw?
You should sell that on Instagram as an EDC item. You can get through your metal detectors with it.
Yeah.
I need a laser engraver to engrave the scene. From which Steven Seagal movie is it where he kills like 10 guys with a credit card?
Literally all of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah, there's no way we're going to have that detail off the top of our head.
I know people who would.
Stop being friends with those people.
Seriously. It's Rhodey, isn't it?
Rhodey might. Yeah.
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 Either way, do you think we've talked enough for today?
I think we have.
Yeah. Adam, it's been a pleasure having you as always.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Adam.
Absolutely, thank you.
And thank you, listeners, for taking this trip down memory lane with us. It was painful for us. We hope it wasn't as painful for you as it was for us.
Absolutely.
And go ahead and tell us what your most embarrassing knife purchase was. I'm curious to see what that is. Or even keep sending us your gateway knives. I'm always curious to see what models got people into the knife hobby. So go ahead and send them to us on Instagram. You can send it to us through email on our contact page on our website. Just reach out. And thank you again for listening.
Yep. Meow.
Wow.
Jake, see, if you were better at this, you would have known to start doing it as Levon was fading out there.
Man, what the fuck?
I'm into it.